Akai Force beat making. Beat making with the Akai Force. Akai Force beat making with plugins. I don't know. Today I'm using the Akai Force, and I'm going to use the organ plugin. I want to try to use some different plugins than what I would normally use, or start off. If you watch my last video, we did the preferences. Now we're starting off with the sounds menu, and I want to try using some different sounds and going into some different menus and presets that I normally don't use to see what I come up with. So today we're going to start with the organ. I'm going to use some progressions. You know where you can get that? You can get that from the O.T.G Stimmy Pack. The MPC Stimmy Pack works for the Force. You can get that. We got some progressions. Progressions, expansions, all kinds of different things to beef up your MPC or your Force. So I'm going to go and grab some of these chord progression. I'm going to change the key, and we're going to listen to a couple of presets, and we're going to see what we can make, starting with a melody. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Charles Paris, real name, no gimmicks. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I have my Akai Force with the 3.5 beta update. I'm still running it down. I still believe the Akai Force is my favorite out of all my gear that I have now with this current update. We are on day 4 of doing trying to go 30 days straight, or at least 25. You know, get 25 up on the channel, 25 different videos utilizing all kinds of gear. And today I'm utilizing the organ plugin. You can see right now I'm tapping into tempo. Make sure you check out the Akai Force Masterclass. This video will definitely be a part of the Masterclass. Now that we have our tempo set, I'm going to hit record and launch, and I'm going to record this in. I feel like this is going to be 8 bars. Let's go and see. Yep, we got an 8-bar loop. So we're starting with an 8-bar loop. And it looks like we're at, let me see, 173.9 is our BPM. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of the expansions, Platinum Bounce. But today, instead of loading a random kit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press step sequencer, I'm going to select my first pad, and then I'm going to type in kick. And today I'm going to just make a custom kit, especially for this beat that I'm making. So I wanted to show you guys, this is another way that you can utilize your expansions. You can just type in there what it is you're looking for, and then it'll bring up all the options. And if you click each expansion, so if you change expansions, it'll bring up everything you have in the search there. So instead of putting the notes in there, I'm just going to play them. see, with this, now that we're running in double time, we're going to put our clap in a different place or our snare in a different place. Now I want to get a hi-hat. So if you type in hat, most of the time you're not going to get anything. So you could just type in HH and give you your hats. Right now I don't have it on a fixed velocity, so I have it, if you notice on the right hand side I have 16 pads. You notice that bottom pad on row 5 is in the white. If you select that pad, it is how hard you press the pad is the velocity for those notes. Anything else after that will be a fixed velocity. Now I'm going to go to Sublab. I don't think people utilize the different menus in Sublab enough. Right now I went into pluck. Instead of 808 or sustain, I went into pluck. And now what I'm going to do is, one of the things I really like about the Force is the way notes mode works. Just how it lets you know what to play. It works that way on the pads, but it's way different when you got 64 pads, right? And so now I'm going to select my velocity. That's what I did, is I just set my velocity to 93% for the bass. And now I'm just looking for a spot to add some bass. I want to kind of add it in the pocket because I want it to feel, I want it to have a nice feel. You got to be careful with your hand. So my hand on the bottom, I had that error. That wasn't a glitch or a bug. That was my hands at the bottom accidentally highlighted. What you see what I just did, I hit the bottom note to select record arm, the right track. So I had my hands resting on the Force and I accidentally recorded our arm track 1. So right now we have a drum kit that we made, super simple. We have the organ plug-in, which is really nice, and we have Sub Factory loaded right now. Sometimes I feel like you gotta just let it sit. So right now, that's what I'm doing. Just kind of letting it sit. Seeing what it do. Seeing if I like how it feels. I feel like when you're making beats this way, especially if you're just coming off the top and you didn't really have anything and mind. Sometimes you gotta slow yourself down and just see how things feel sometimes. You'll hear me say that a lot. So I know there's a bass line, a part of the bass that's off. We're going to nudge that. And then we're going to put a note on the one because I didn't know what I was going to play. And now I think we got a pretty good bass line lined up. I don't know why the Force does that sometimes. Let me know in the comments if you guys go through that. If sometimes your Force just randomly stops playing. We'll go ahead and name these tracks. You see, our drum kit was light. It was only 6 or 7 sounds. If you watched the last video, I went through my preferences and changed my preferences. So now every time that I load a new plugin, it automatically loads a sub-factory. I want some strings. I have studio strings, but it's pretty big. Pause. But one of the things that's really good on the MPC, don't sleep on it, is Solina. Solina is a really good plugin. I think people still sleep on it. If you want horns, violins, you want a good sound, definitely use those. It definitely gives you a big sound. You know, it's definitely a go-to in my catalog or in my tool set. Some kind of pad or something, because I want something just to cut on and off. Sometimes the way that I make beats is in my mind I'm thinking about verse chorus or intro verse chorus or verse chorus verse or whatever, you know, and so verse pre-hook and then hook. So I'm always thinking about sounds, you know, creating one set of sounds that play all together, and then thinking of sounds that would play good by themselves if I took out other sounds. So that's always kind of my puzzle fix, my 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean? And so once I feel like I have a main sound, again, just the way I see stuff, Once I feel like I have a main sound, I am trying to accent that sound, because I feel like that sound is what's going to carry my beat. That's what I mean by a main sound. And so we build around that to try to support that, if that makes sense, in my style of beat making. And so now we do the same thing that I would do on the MPC or any place else. We're just going to do some deductive kind of building. I'm going to copy each sequence or each row, and then I'm going to delete certain parts. So like right now, I just deleted the bass. And so only on one row will we have the whole beat playing, all of the sounds that we put together. That is like the chorus or hook or main arrangement, right? And then every place else is just a piece. So now I'm going to hit shift and record to my arrangement. And we're going to start with the pad and the organ. And then I want to go to my matrix because I want to see. I have my launch set at a quarter of a bar. So I like to see when it's time to launch. And because I'm using, if you see my drums are just a 2-bar loop. My pad sound is like a 4-bar loop. Or my pad sounds on the 4-bar loop, and my strings are on the 8-bar loop, like the first song. First part. Well, everything's on the 4-bar loop except for the drums. You know what I mean? Or an 8-bar loop except for the drums. So because of this, that's why I like to wait. And actually my drums are on the 4-bar loop, excuse me. My brain's all over the place. I'm doing this late tonight. It's like 10:50 right now. So most of the time the drums are at a 4-bar loop. Other parts might be at a different place. But you can see when I trigger it, I'm triggering it at the beginning of the loops. You get what I mean? And because I know that this might be an 8-bar and this is a 4-bar, that's why I have it on a quarter launch. So that way when I launch, I know that I'm launching for each part to kind of work and sync together, even if we have some shorter loops in there. Make sure you check out that O.T.G Stimmy Pack, for the MPC, 40 plus expansions. You'll have all of these drums. You'll have these progressions. It comes with lifetime updates. If you have an Akai Force, check out the Masterclass. Since this 3.5 update has came out, I'm going to be utilizing the Akai Force all of the time. All of the time. All of the gear you see on the table runs through the Akai Force. So everything is is available now to be recorded into my beats in real time. So that Akai Force Masterclass will easily grow over 10 or 12 hours and 30 or 40 videos before the end of this year. The way that the lifetime updates work is you'll get an email every single time I add a video or something to the masterclass. It'll alert you, and you might want to check your spam folder and click the don't filter message like these, so that way you can get constant updates. So now I want to utilize another old plugin. I'm going to utilize Hype, and I'm going to go into Summer Synth. And I am our summer lead, and I'm going to utilize the summer lead, and we're just going to play the lead over the whole beat, our whole arrangement. It's a little bit buggy right now when you do this. Like, you'll see, like, I'll load it, I'll press shift and record to arrangement, and sometimes it goes right in, sometimes it doesn't. But this is something that you don't want to give up, man. That's super important. If you run into a brick wall and you have some kind of issue while you're making beats, you just don't want to give up. You don't want to end up being like, oh, well, I give up. It must be broken. It's not going to work. I'll just report it. Like, no, try again. Keep trying. Should you have to go through this every single time that you do something? Probably not. But if that's what's standing in the way of you getting it done, then you should figure out the workaround so you can get your work done and feel like eventually they will get to fix any bugs. But if they never fixed any of the bugs, at least you would know how to work around it if possible, right? And again, for you guys who have whole different workflows and you're seeing bugs all the time, I apologize to you. So see, right now I hit shift and record, it didn't go. And so I'm trying to see if it's going to go by just pressing notes there. Now, if I press record in the top row, which is the arrangement, we get nothing. We still have nothing. So if I hit record and do a row, let's see, you can see it put the play buttons back and it switched it into loop mode. So I'm going to go back to arrange mode. And so maybe it's because I didn't hold shift and then press record. Maybe I'm letting go of the shift button too fast. So now it says recording to arrangement. And now I see the notes going. So it could have simply been that I was letting go of shift too fast, or I pressed shift first and then the record button, when I think you need to hold shift, then press record, and that's how you get there. So I think that's extremely important. That's important to know. But in this arrangement window, what we could do now is you could just play over the whole beat. And so, if I had my camera out wider, I could use the Yamaha seat track to my right, 2,000 plus Yamaha sounds. I could utilize the Roland MV1, 3,000 plus Roland sounds. I have my Live 2 on the other side of the table, the same table. So now all of those plugins become audio instruments, and I have the KO2 right there, and I have the OP1 field. So I could record any of these instruments in over this full arrangement. I would just choose an audio track, and then I have 8 audio tracks I could record in, different sounds, different synths on top of this beat. So if I want to max out, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have five synthesizers right now, or 5 plugins. If I added one more, it's either 6 or 8, so I could max out how many synth plugins I have, right? And then I could add 8 audio tracks on top of that, which could be other synths and instruments. And then I have essentially unlimited drum programs and MIDI synths. So, we'll definitely get into the talk of utilizing MIDI synths as a way to utilize the same plugins in a plethora of ways. But right now, we have 5 plugins and maybe 6 drum sounds. And that's it. So, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out everything at the Gumroad store. Please click the link in the description. That's how you could definitely support my channel. You get a lot of value for a little bit. Please leave a like. Say something in the comments if you need help, if you want to talk about something, if you want to see something, let me know. It's a safe space. I delete people who say negative things and try to start beef. This is a safe space. So hopefully, I like this beat, man. I like opening up with the sounds menu. I like the organ plug-in. I like what we made with this. And it's your brother, O.T.G.